everyone, so today I'm going to talk to you about my favourite makeup tools, things that I use to apply my makeup, eye makeup, face makeup, things like that. I'm going to start off with eye and eyebrow brushes, and the first one is the MAC 208 brush. It looks like this, and this is the one that I use to fill in my eyebrows, and I find I can get a really good shape when I use this, and I use this with MAC Omega eyeshadow, and I really recommend looking at this brush because I think it's quite looked over. A lot of people use the MAC 266, I think it's called, but I prefer this one for doing my eyebrows. The next brush is another angled brush, and it's from Sigma, and it's the E65. It looks like this. I think this one's similar to the MAC 266, but I actually use this one for doing either powder eyeliner along my lash line and under my lash line, or I use it for gel eyeliner as well, and I find I can get a really good line and a really good winged eyeliner with this brush. The next brush is a really old one. It's from the Body Shop, and it's called the Line Softener brush, and it looks like this. It's just got a foam tip on the top. It's reasonably flexible, but it's quite hard as well. And I use this for smudging out pencil eyeliner, and I find it's really good for smudging out along the top lash line and along the bottom lash line. I don't think they do this anymore, and I'm not quite sure where you can find anything similar to this, but if you can, then I really recommend one of these. They're great for smudging out eyeliner. The next brush probably would feature on every makeup girl or makeup guru, makeup person's list, and it's the MAC 217, and it looks like this. I find this perfect for applying colour, blending out colour, for if I want to sort of deepen my crease up a bit once I've used another brush that I'm going to mention in a minute. But this is a good all over brush. If you only wanted one, this is good for applying colour and blending out colour, so I really recommend this one. The next brush is one from the drugstore, and it's by Model Zone, and it's their blending brush, and it looks like this. It's about £4 or £5, and this is a really great, I use it as a pencil brush, and it's really great. I really like it. I find it very comparable to the MAC 219, which I have here, that's dirty, but I find that they're very similar and they do a similar job. I use it to put eyeshadow under the lash line, maybe to do it in the inner corner, or just if I'm sort of smudging some on the outer corner. I think this is a really great brush, and it's such a bargain. If you're looking for something similar to the MAC 219 but don't want to fork out all the money, then I really recommend this one. The next brush is the MAC 227, and it looks like this. It's a really big eye brush, and I use this for applying colour all over the lid and up to the brow bone, and because I have quite oily eyelids, I find that once I've primed I also need to put on like a base colour. I use MAC Brulee for that, and this brush is great for just packing on colour all over the lid. As you can see, it's absolutely massive, and this is a really great brush to have in your collection. The next brush that I have does a similar job to the last one I mentioned, and it's from NARS, and it's the number 3 brush, and it looks like this. This is the mini one that I got with And God Created the Woman palette, and I really like it for packing on colour all over the lid or up to the brow bone or something like this. Another good staple. You can also use it for just putting your lid colour on. I think it's a really great brush. The next brush, unfortunately, I don't know the name of, but it's from Hakuhodo. I got it when I went to IMATS a couple of years ago, and it looks like this, and it's very similar to the MAC 239. It's just a general kind of flat shader brush, but I really like how this one applies colour to my lid, and I like that it's very fine as well. I don't know if you can see that, but I can also put colour under my lash line with it as well, and it's quite small. It doesn't have a long handle, which I quite like as well, so I recommend if you're going to pick up any Hakuhodo brushes to have a look at this one. The next brush is one that I use every day for putting colour in my crease, and it's the Sigma E35. It's a tapered blending brush. It looks like this. I think this was very similar to the MAC 222, but I'm not sure if they do that one anymore. It's just great, it's quite fluffy. As you can see, it's quite flexible, so it's good for putting colour into your crease and for blending colours out. And I wish I had more of these. I only have 2, but I use it every single day. Finally, the last eye brush is from Sigma, and it's their blending E36, and it looks like this. It's a really teeny tiny little brush. If I compare it to the E35, you can see the difference in size there. I use this one for putting colour in my inner corner, as I find because it's so flexible and bendy, I can put colour in my inner corner and really blend it out and sort of sweep it up towards my brow bone, and I really love this brush for that. It came with, I think it's called the Precision Eyes Kit or something like that, and I really love it, and I recommend checking that out if you like putting highlights in your inner corner. Now moving on to face brushes and tools, I'm gonna start off with my favourite foundation brush, and it's the Sigma Flat Top Synthetic Kabuki F80, which I think everyone talks about. Everyone says it's their favourite. It's just a flat top, really dense kabuki brush. Mine bristles look a bit separated at the moment, so I've just cleaned it for this video. But I love this for applying my liquid foundations. I could apply a powder foundation with this, like a cream blush, cream bronzer, anything like that. It's just a great overall brush. The next brush is from Real Techniques, and it's their contour brush, and it looks like this. It's just sort of a thin tapered brush, and I use this for contouring with gel or powder products or cream products. I can use that for highlighting, for blending in concealer under my eyes. It's a really good multitasking brush. I really like using this one. The next brush is from Hukahodu again. I only have 2 of their brushes, and I absolutely love both of them. And this is like a tapered face brush. It's a bit damp at the moment where I've cleaned it, but as you can see, it's really fluffy, but it tapers up at the end nicely. And I use this for applying highlight to my cheekbones, and I also use it for putting powder under my eyes, as I find my concealer creases quite a lot if I don't put powder on, so I find this is really good for doing that. And I use it with my ambient lighting powder, and it fits in perfectly under my eye, but it's also good for doing highlighting on the cheekbones. This next one I use for blush mostly, and it's the Sigma Large Angled Contour F40. It looks like this. It's just a angled fluffy brush, and I use this for applying blush to my cheeks, or I have used it for contouring before, or I suppose you could use it for powder as well, but I mainly use it for blush and contouring, and this is what it looks like, and it's just one of my favourite brushes. The next one is the MAC 109, which looks like this. And I've used this in lots of different ways. I've used this to put liquid foundation on my face. I've used it for highlight, blush, contouring. I've used it for all sorts. It's a really good multitasking brush, and I wouldn't have thought of using it for liquid foundation, but one day, I don't know, I just picked it up and used it, and it worked really well. I was using my Chanel Vitalumia Aqua with it, and it worked brilliantly. So if you have this brush in your collection, do try it for that. I find it worked really well. You just have to give it a good clean afterwards, as it is natural bristles as opposed to synthetic. The next brush is the Real Techniques powder brush, and it looks like this. It's a really big brush, as you can see next to my face. I mainly use this for bronzing up my face, so just apply bronze to my cheeks, forehead, chin, sort of down my neck and things like that. But I have used it for powder as well, and it's good for that. However, I do just prefer it for bronzing. I can kind of contour and bronze at the same time with this brush, and obviously Real Techniques is really affordable. I recommend you checking this one out if you're looking for a new powder or bronzer brush. And the next brush is the Real Techniques blush brush, which looks like this. This one's still a bit wet at the moment from cleaning it as well. I mainly use this for powder. I have used this for blush as well. I've also used it for bronzer. But I just prefer this one for powder, because I find it doesn't pick up too much product, which means that I don't end up with a cakey looking face, so I really like this one. And the last brush is an absolutely massive brush, and it's this one from Illamasqua, and it's the, I think it's called like the body brush or something like this, and I picked this up at IMATS, I think for about, it must have been about 10 or 15 pounds, and I think it retails at about 30 to 40 pounds, but this brush is amazing. I use this for when I'm doing like quite a lot of bronzer, so I can bronze up all over. I can take it down my neck and onto my collarbone, but it's just so soft, and it's really dense as well. I don't know if you can see how dense that is, but I absolutely love this brush. So if they're ever on sale or they're having a discount or anything like this, I recommend picking it up because it just feels amazing on the skin. And the final product I'm going to talk about isn't a brush, it's the beauty blender. I have a pink one and a black one, which is, I think, is supposed to be the professional one. I got the pink one in my Birchbox, my July Birchbox, and I never got the hype before it. I didn't really understand why you wouldn't want to just apply your foundation with a brush, but since I've been using a damp beauty blender, oh, my foundation routine is completely changed. I absolutely love it. I don't think there's a difference between the pink and the black, really. I haven't really noticed one, but I really recommend trying them if you kind of think, oh well, you know, I don't think I'll like it, or how can it be better than applying it with a brush. But I really do think these are really good, and I have tried the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge and I do like it, but I don't think it beats the beauty blender. I think they're much better overall. So that's all of my top beauty tools, brushes and sponges. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe to my channel, it would mean a lot to me. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!